Alright, MrSotko here, and welcome back to another Wargame Red Dragon replay cast. Today it's a 2 vs 2 on Mud Fight. In our red team that consists of Sane Chick and Assassin, and on the left side of the map we have our blue team, consists of Sniper 190 and Happy Sep. And I'm really glad that it's just 4 names that are actually pronounceable this time, as they usually never are. Speed this on up till all the units come out. See what units move out where and what kind of decks we're looking at here. Just a moment. And apparently Happy going on the far side there, Foxtrot side. And already Type 60 moving on out there. Osa's, OBR 89, Guska's. Majority of the force going left here. And looks like both players are actually going left. And M8 Panzerbills moving on up. And the Akula is down immediately from the 2 rovers. And so that Akula did not make much happen at all. So that's a pretty big loss for the red team. It is a 42-minute game, so we usually skip around just a little bit when the action gets a little bit slower. All the Panzerbills have been wiped out. Now we have some STRVs coming on in here to defend, but we have lots of troops here that are going to be subject to a lot of tanks. And I see a lot of troops about to get wasted here. Some of them making a beeline for the woods, Fallstrom Jaegers and such already in Alpha. And just a line has been created at Foxtrot. Hard to move into Foxtrot there, so both sides really just chilling out there for now. And the STRV 103D, not enough for this gigantic pile of tanks moving forward here. And bombing run gets off, takes out a few things. But was it worth it? Not really sure. Stormers are out in the open there, and tank's going to be firing away. And they might benefit if they just moved past there and possibly got out of line of sight, but the TADBs are coming around now, and these Stormers definitely not going to make it, but these ones made it to the wood line and should be able to cross sooner or later. Lude has a big advantage here in Alpha, at least holding it with troops for now. But the center definitely dominated by our red team, and just Tunguska, a couple Osas in the back as well. So they are fairly vulnerable, particularly to any kind of seed that might be sneaking on about. And a couple ASFs in the skies, just watching for trouble. Another Akula now hanging out over the mountains there. The Falcom Jaegers are moving on in and trying to get deep in there. Usually the CVs end up being placed right there. So as long as you can get some troops right there, you end up killing a CV sooner or later. Alternatively, you can kind of sit it in there or even put it down there. But Delta, on the other hand, a little bit harder for the blue team, as really there's only one viable spot for the CV, and it's pretty much right here. I suppose you could try and put it there or there, but easily spotted by any kind of recon that might be pushing through, and easily spotted being put in there and can just bomb it out. But so the blue team on this map actually sort of has a somewhat disadvantage, at least in the center. They don't have too many spots, whereas the red team can put it there or anywhere along through here, and at least they have a few more options. Whereas the blue team, you can pretty much just either artillery here if you don't get it, then just do it here, and then do it here. So there is that, and Fox still not really moving forward too much here. The TADB is going to be pushing on in, and must be spotting these NMs there. Takes those out. Not too big of a deal. Speed this up to 2x. And a Belt 204 moving all the way around the backside. And get some scouting information from that. And K52 here against the Falcom Jaegers. And just having a field day on them. And it looks like an attackums maybe indeed. And Attackums took out something over there. Didn't see what it was. A good old tank, but either way, Attackums out on the field. Now we'll begin the long process of getting another missile, but could fire one more before really rearming. And STRV 103C moving into the wood line, and perhaps he's going to try and get it here and then fire on there, because every time he moves through here, there is just a lot of stuff there. Not so much anymore. It's all been pulled back to repair, but they don't really know that. Can't see over there. So still trying to push troops up. Another thing you can do is just sort of push troops all the way around. Very, very safe way to do it. Takes forever, but, you know, a couple troops moving all the way around while you have some in the middle can be a pretty good distraction, and then we'll get all the way around and get to the CV, which there is none at the moment. Both sides with 0-0-11 for our blue team that had happened to capture first. As Charlie's a little bit easier to capture, he kind of just drive right on over, and only takes a moment there. And I believe the Attackums may have fired again. I think I missed it. Actually see what it had hit. Now rearming once again. Some Amos now firing away. Amos, the double firing artillery, fires 2 rounds at a time. Smoke in the town here, and may try to push in. There's not really a lot around to push in right now, so Smoking, not sure why just yet. We'll have to see. Maybe he's planning on moving things across here. Doesn't want to really get hit, and he is doing that with the Stormers, and that is blocking some attacking there. Airplane gets taken out immediately there. Tunguska has been spotted, and now some Smirch coming down on the Amos, but they move just in time there and take no damage. Well played there. No luck for you today, Smirch. And Amos going to start firing again here. And we'll see if he's actually firing normal rounds now or not. Nope, still just smoking. And I figured he would reserve the smoke, maybe build up a bunch of troops and or tanks, then smoke, and then go. But right now it's just smoking. And now actually using the barrage ability. Trying to get at that Tunguska, but I think the Tunguska had moved. It might have been originally there. So now, not really going to be able to get that. Going to have to back up and rearm these Amos a little bit. Getting a little bit low as they go through ammo pretty quickly. Only 42 rounds each, and they do fire 2 at a time. And still nothing going on in Foxtrot. Both sides not really wanting to push forward. And some exceptional stealth recon on the side here. Going to be seeing everything that's going on. And forgot to turn off that weapon there, so lost, or at least gave himself away there, so they definitely know that that is there now. And the HA just going to be keeping watch here. BMP3s with some Arcans watching for anything moving across there. So really all the action going on over on the right side there. Raven and a Hornet flying around there. I think the Raven got one or both of those OSAs in the back. The UAZ now coming on in, and I suspect that that will be placed over there. And now some troops moving in to the Volkskamjägers. Motorstroke will probably lose this battle, but they do have the BMP 1D there. As long as that is kept alive, and the Motorstroke engage first, and the Volkskamjägers don't do too much about it, then they're going to get absolutely wasted, and then they do. But the Motorstroke one-on-one, they probably would have won that, but that BMP, of course the K-52, helps in that situation as well. BDB and the BMPD go toe-to-toe here with some Stormers, and the Amos wreaking havoc there on the BMDs. And Leopard 185's trying to move forward, but there's so much armor over here from the red team, and that was a huge mistake. Some recon right there would show all of that armor there, and you definitely don't want to go into that. Just OBRs, but pretty good tanks. 20 AP power, 20 armor. Not quite the ultra heavy tanks like the BU, but and still 1A5s had no chance there. Now a Command Abrams is pushing forward here, maybe putting that here or in this line here as well. And that is probably your best bet, is to get a Command Abrams or Command Tank in general to put through here, just so it can withstand a bombing run or two. And the Book takes out, I think that was a Hornet or an Eagle there. chopper. I'll finish this off a chopper. Now a boatload of U.S. Marines here, about to get under a K-52. And get right under it. Might be able to actually take it out, but that K-52, that 30 mil, puts a mean hurting on some troops. So here we go now. Man, K-52 taking some heat, but the Mi-24 is now there, and too much. Gonna fly right over the Marines again. Mi-24 now gonna take some damage, but these Marines not gonna last too much longer here. But both choppers did take a little bit of damage, so maybe one rocket will be able to take those out. And a bunch of Stormers, STRF 9040s. Trying to move forward here and get into the town. Going to share the block with the MrSotko, and the smoke allowing them to do that. And now are in the block. And these Stormers have the IMG-3 best machine gun in the game. Absolutely going to destroy these MrSotko in close range. And then it will be on to the VDV. And the STRFs here just going to try and pepper up the VDV a little bit. Going to get hit by a Vampire again real soon, I'd imagine. It looks like the VDV are tied up with the Stormers right now. VDV losing. Stormers down to 7. And both sides pretty close there. And double shot on that. Another NM13 and a ton of troops here moving up, but they no smoke now. And this is exactly what I was saying, is it need to smoke, then push a bunch of troops up. And gonna lose a ton of troops here. There is just so much firepower gonna be shooting on these. Even these BMP3s might even be able to shoot. Nope, looks like they're actually out of sight. And the LHV get wrecked. And but sporting those Krag Jorgensens and not happening. Needed to smoke before he did that. So a lesson learned there. Smoking in Wargame is pretty good. And now Blue wiped out in the town there. And M1A2 now going to be pushing across the way here. And spies itself some tanks. It's going to go after the BU. But it's going to take some Conkers here. And it takes one Conker, does 2 damage. And multiple missiles. Tons of missiles coming after the M1A2. I think that's the most missiles I've ever seen go after an M1A2. And it did not take that kind of heat. And lost that. Maybe a Challenger may have been able to handle that, but even that I kind of doubt. And the Abrams here looks has been called out, and bombing may begin there shortly. It looks like the Smirch is firing up, and it looks like that Smirch may be attacking right there. So far, +1 advantage for the blue team, 71 to 49. And that was an outright fiasco for our blue team. And the smoke, I definitely agree with. But again, once again, he's actually smoking. Nope, actually using the regular barrage now. And he's going to get these OSAs, so that's pretty nice. But he smoked and then really didn't capitalize on the smoke. And then once the smoke was gone, then he sent a whole bunch of troops. And that's sort of the opposite of what you want to do. And that Smirch now firing away here, and it does look like it's going right after this Abrams. And this Abrams will not survive this unless he actually starts to get out of there right now. And already down to half health there. Another couple good shots. Another good shot there on it. 3 health. And looks like the Smirch did not finish it off. So very lucky M1 Abrams there. That is that crew is wiping their brow of sweat now, and the Hemet will begin repairing that up here shortly. MiG-25 now coming on in, and looks like it's going to be dropping bombs all over the wood line here. And a bunch of heat dropped there, but did a little bit of damage to the M1, a little bit to the M1A2. Not too big of a deal, though. However, these artillery shells look like they will finish this M1 off. Perhaps, if one hits directly, we'll do 1 bar of damage. Command Abrams is really holding out, still alive. And now an Su-24 here coming on in, going to be dropping all over the place. STRFs moving forward. Trying to take hold of this line here. Bofors busting stuff up. Falkenjägers all jacked up there. That Su-24. And now the one advantage is going to the red team after taking Delta. M1 finally taken out there. And a ton of troops here, and NM 113s look like they're ready to go, and he is piling them up. And is the smoke going to be coming? Really needs to smoke this entire town, and not only this town, really needs to put a few smoke right about here to cover this BU as well, though I'm sure he doesn't know that that BU is there, but it would definitely be wise to cover the road and a little bit past that as well. Here, DM's going to fire on them as well once they push forward. And K-52 now going to be going back. It looks like it's going to be rearming and get ready to go again. A ton of stuff here coming in from the red team. Bunch of Afghanskis and a BMPT as well. Looks like it's going to be going in the woods and going to be going on an old infantry hunt in the woods with a BMP. And now the smoke coming on the town. And here come the NM113s. Now this is a little bit better here, but kind of bad timing again, because the BMP3s here are going to launch Arkans. The Afghanskis are going to pepper him up something awful, and T-80s, T-70s, and so he's going to take quite a bit of losses. Didn't quite smoke thoroughly. The Conkers here can still see. There goes the smoke of the Conkers, and that stops them temporarily, but is it too little too late? It looks like they took out one or two of those. Just LHV in there. Hornet takes out the BU, so that is gone now. LHVs need to spread out immediately, and just not enough. Really needs to hit it at multiple angles. Needs to come through here and through here. And again, more smoke is needed. It just needs to get spread out a little bit more. And Nighthawk dropped on something. Didn't see it. I think it might have hit these T-80s here. There's only one T-80 left, and it is at one bar. There is an M1A2 here that could be pushing forward, but again, there's Conkers just everywhere here. Conkers two here and a couple here as well. So lots of missiles to be had, but the BU is no longer there as well. That'd be slightly less. The 103D here is in a bit of trouble. One bar of left in that. One bar of health, that is. And Afghanskis here gonna get all torn up by the AT-4 of the U.S. Marines. And one good thing about the AT-4 is that it is 20 rounds a minute, which is quite impressive. Most are 10 rounds a minute. Look at this. This one's... Nope, those actually don't even have them. I don't even think there's any other on the field. Nope, doesn't look like it. But a lot of them are 10 rounds a minute. And so 20 rounds is actually pretty exceptional, and you can take out quite a bit of stuff. FSK now moving forward here. And going to be hucking Erics, but not enough manpower here, and the Erics are just too slow to fire. And not really going to do a lot of damage here. Might take out a few things, but the FSK are doomed. M1A1 here as well, and a 103D has been repaired up. But no fuel being given out by that Scania. So they're actually pretty low. And some Bell 204s here are going to fly over the area here, get some information. Osa's going to take them out. Nope, down to 0 missiles now. So not going to happen. 0 to 0, 125 for the blue team. Red team is at 67. And a frog here is flying over the base, getting all kinds of information here, seeing the Mistus and possibly that Smirch as well. And didn't quite spot the UAZ, I don't believe. And Amos here still firing away. Amos pretty low on ammunition, and only one fob. Fob is nearly out, and a Paladin is using that. The Paladin now firing, and it's firing at where the Smirch was. Now the Smirch is gone, and Mist is firing back at the Amos by the looks of it. Nope, actually just firing over here to try and get rid of the CV. As I said earlier, it's pretty much the only spot that you can put it is basically right here or here. This here is not quite viable, as it's really easy to recon that from the town there. So really only a couple spots, and I really wish that Eugen would actually fix this map up just a little bit. I think that if you put maybe a hedgelow row, going this way and maybe one going that way as well, that you could actually just have maybe a little bit more possibility for the other team, in this case from this side, maybe a hedgerow going here, or just randomly placed, you know, maybe in some direction. just to give a few more spots at the very least and make your opponent have to guess a little bit more than what they have to do now. M1A2 took some shots there from the T90. There were two T90s, and I think that one of them was taken out there. And a longbow now firing away here, taking to take out the BMP3s, and the M1A2 is up front now as well, pushing everything back. Rezvedka there has been spotted. And longbow almost spotted them. They have to move up just a bit to see them, and almost took them all out. And STRF here, 90-40s moving forward here, 40mm Bofors. And 25 coming on in. And lobbing, and not gonna get anything, assuming the CV was there when it's really all the way over here, which is a really nice sort of juke you can do to your opponent. Just put it all the way over there instead, and they'll end up trying to bomb here and here. And Panzer Skites here gonna try and move forward and go after the BMPD, but taking so much damage anytime they move out from this cover. And tons of artillery here coming down, just trying to get the CV or anything it can in this area. And now the Hawk is in trouble here. Needs to back that up a little bit. Very, very slow off-road, 35 kilometers. And ammo's still firing away here and getting pretty low on ammunition. The Scanias are all out. The FOB is all out. And no other FOBs really around. A couple of Hammets over here using the Attackums. Attackums ready to fire here. And we'll see what it gets. And this ought to be fairly interesting here. And looks like it might be going after this Zalo. And definitely takes out those. I think 2 Zalos there were taken out by the Attackums. So very nice there. Nice free kills. And M1A2 pushing up to the front lines. Also has an HA there as well. And I think the fire in the front there blocking that HA just a little bit. Nope. Takes that out there. And MT OBVs moving forward here. Tanks gladly eat those up. And still +1 for the blue team. And that is it. Looks like our red team had GG'd on out. So a pretty good game. Pretty good. Pretty well played from the blue team there. The red team actually had a huge amount of tanks at the beginning, but just sort of ended up squandering them and getting them killed one by one, especially by that Hornet. The Hornet came through and did a lot of damage, but well played on both sides. Hope you guys enjoyed the replay, and I will see you guys next time.